Welcome to SQL for Absolute Beginners, lesson 9.3. So we'll see now how can we control the output, but in a very orderly fashion. What I mean by that is, let's put a big thinking hat and assume that our table has thousands of records. Now, even if we can control the output, as we saw in the previous lesson, that we can put where name equals something or id is greater than certain numbers, you will still end up with many number of records out, which may not be easy enough to look for exactly what you are looking for sometimes. So why don't we have an order? Why don't we sort that data out so that we can view it easily and find certain things easily? So in order to do that, we have a command called order by, and that command is pretty simple. All we have to say is select from whatever the columns or even asterisk like star, select star from phone book. Now all we have to add, just like we added that where clause, we can add order by clause. So select star from phone book, order by, and then you can specify the column name, which is what you want the ordering, the sorting is done by. So you can do order by particular name of the column. So in this case it is select star from phone book, order by name. So this will do alphabetical ordering of the name column, and all other columns will be following the other sequence. So that is that. Other way to do that is you can do select, let's say id and name, two fields we select from phone book and order by id column. So here it will sort by numbers like 1 2 3 id. Now there is a way to simplify this. Instead of writing the actual name of the column as order by name, order by id, you can also put something like this: select id name, for example, same select statement, select id name from phone book, order by, and then you can put like 1 or 2 or 3, which is the sequential number of the column here. So when I say order by 1, that means it will understand to order it by the first column that is in here. If we had switched this select statement as, let's say, select name comma id, then it will do the ordering by name column. So whatever is available in the first position, that's what it means. Now there is also a way to control ascending or descending order. So you can also say select id from phone book, order by 1, and then put descending, so DESC as a short form. So it will do the descending order, so it's a reverse order, and by default of course it will always do ascending order. So for ascending, we don't need to specify anything. All of these other order by is going by ascending order, but if you have to do descending, then you have to specify it. So you can also do like select star from phone book and order by 1. Now if you put asterisk, you don't know what column it is, but it will look at the table structure, and whichever is the first column, it will pick up that as the first column and it will do the ordering and in a descending order. Now you can combine the conditions with this order by clause, so it's not in isolation. So we can still say select star from phone book where id between 1 and 2, order by 1. So you can have all of these. So you can add select statement, where clause, and order by clause together. So all of these are combinations available. Let's actually take a look at the workbench and let's see how it works out. So here is our workbench, and let's run this command. So I will select star from addition phone book, order by name. So let's run this, and as you can see, I had run a few other things earlier. Okay, so here we see it is ordering by name, which is H is the first letter, then follows by N and then W. So obviously it is in that order. If you want to change the order, I can say descending. So the same command, now if we rerun, now you will see it will start with W as the first name, and then N and then H. So that's how you can control it. All the other commands are very simple, or you can order by ID, and now it will change it like that. Again, I don't want to go through each one, you can run yourself, but you get the idea of this is a very simple command, but again very helpful. Order by, it depends what you need to see. In fact, one additional note I'll make is you can also combine. Let's say you can say order by ID and then within that you can say order by name. So it is basically sort first by ID, then within that sort, if there is a same number, now ID shouldn't happen, but just let's say there is a same name, then you can sort by ID within that. So we can put it, although we don't have the exact such data. Actually, I'm planning to have another large data set as an exercise later to give you, so that you can play around all these different combinations. So here you can see it, ideally it will look the same, but if you see, first it is sorting by the name, and then within the name, if it finds the same name repeated here, then it will take the look at the ID column, and let's say the one will be put first, then second, if it is the same name. But in our case it is the same. Now let's take a quick look at this where clause also. So as you can see, we are asking for ID between 1 and 2, so it should have only 1 and 2, but then in addition we said order it descending order, so that's why 2 is appearing and 1 is after. If we don't specify that descending order and I just run selecting without that part, this is by default will be ascending order, so 1 and 2. So that's what the ascending descending order by clause is. Very simple, very easy to use, but again very helpful in the situations that you need to control the output in that sense. Now in the next lesson, now I think we have done a good journey so far. You know how to create the database, how to create the table, how to write into the table, how to read from the table, which is the select statement. And if you remember our operations of databases, so we can write and read. Now we will also need to do some kind of modification to the data. So how do we do that? How do we modify, or how do we in some cases delete the records? That's what we'll see in the next lesson. Until then, enjoy SQL. Do keep practicing. Thank you.